Now, is it child abuse to let your kids be obese? New research has found that a child's weight at the age of 6 is crucial to determining how likely they are to be obese as an adult. So, if you're overweight at the age of 6, you have more than double the likelihood of being obese at 18, which is an amazing stat. We know there's an obesity epidemic in this country and across the world. According to the latest data, 21% of 5-year-olds in England are obese. Doctors blame ultra-processed food, sedentary lifestyles and excessive screen time. Are the parents to blame? I'm going to show you a picture in a second, right? It's an AI picture, but I was on a beach in, of course, Devon, and I saw a family coming towards me, family of 4. Mum and dad were obese, that's their business. But their kids were young and they were obese. And I asked AI to recreate this picture. Just see this, right? Now, so that's what I saw. Now, the question is whether I have any business looking at those kids and saying, that's wrong. Or is it just still mum and dad's business only? Joanna.
Oh, look, parenting's tough as it is, isn't it? But I look at a picture like that and I mean, almost every day I'm seeing overweight children and it is wrong, I'm afraid.
We need to see the AI again because they told me the dad has got 4 legs. AI is a very... No, hang on. 3?
Siamese twin.
What on earth? It's basic, isn't it?
You'd have thought.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's not a real family. I don't know, Michael, would you get involved?
Well, I mean, I think there's a difference between a health visitor potentially pointing out that maybe it would be good to feed your children slightly different and a TV presenter walking down a beach in Devon saying your children look a bit obese. I think there's a sort of it depends on the circumstance to some degree.
And I was a million miles from even having a thought, and it was only afterwards. I didn't even say anything I wouldn't even say to my wife, look, have a look over there, what do you think? No. But afterwards, it percolated. And the percolation led to me thinking, I wonder whether we do have a duty, actually. So the stories today, 2 things. They may start giving Wegovy, which is one of the fat jabs, to 12-year-olds. And they're also thinking of inserting spice scales in people's homes so that children are weighed without seeing their own weight, but they'll report back to the council. Hannah's in Shropshire. It's a crisis, Hannah, isn't it?
It is, but I think it's really, really important to consider that there might be external factors. So personally, from my perspective, I have 3 children, and my middle child is obese. He's on the 99th centile for his age, and he's 8. Okay. My other 2 are completely normal, if you want to use that term. Yeah. And I have done absolutely nothing different with each of them. Yeah. My middle child, who is the one who is obese, he is on the spectrum, but it's really, really difficult because I know I get judged, but I'm not a self-assured person, but I do know I'm a darn good parent. So I try and do my best for him. I encourage exercise. He eats healthily, fruity snacks, veg and stuff. And he does have, he likes a lot of healthy food, which is lucky. Yeah. But he's had some breathing problems. Like I say, being on the spectrum, I don't know if it could be related or a cause, but it's really, really terrible being a parent of somebody who is obese, knowing that people think that you're just doing a bad job.
Well, I know it's only Tuesday, but that is definitely the call of the week so far, because I think that's really so interesting, Hannah. And you're right, you've done nothing different between your middle one and the other 2. And it's not anyone's place to judge. And it may be related to being neurodivergent as well. I'm not sure. Relationships with food are complicated, whatever your brain state. What do you think there, Mike? So, I suppose the key question is for you, Hannah, isn't it? It's what the state can do for you.
I don't really know. I feel like I've taken him to health professionals. We've been with the Healthy Families Service, through school and everything. I've accepted every bit of help I possibly can. But nobody seems to have any answers with what I can do. I'm just hoping the more he grows up, the more he'll be more interested in activities. He's recently started football and he's really enjoying it, which is great. But he comes home completely defeated by comments from other children. Oh. And it really, really affects him mentally. And I've never seen an 8-year-old so emotional, you know, and it's really, really difficult to navigate. I think that potentially exploring, you know, any medical issues like you would with an adult with unexplained obesity would be something that doctors perhaps should do a bit more. But
I mean, I think some of us do. You know, I did, literally till I was 35, I could eat anything, and I had no weight gain. And I think some people are the opposite, and the answer is that your body, and it's actually sometimes it's ethnicities as well. I mean, Asian people, for example, put on weight differently. All doctors will tell you, and it's something to do with the readiness of the body to store. And it may be, I don't know, maybe his body is constantly saying, we'll put that aside in case one day there's no food, which is a real caveman bit of genetics going on, Hannah. So that's not your fault at all.
maybe he's just a caveman.
Yeah, well, maybe that's right. I mean, that's back in the day, as soon as you had any sugar or any energy, it would be stored as fat for a rainy day. And now that's the problem. Thanks, Hannah. Bless you. Yeah, as she says, good mum.
Yeah.
And your heart breaks because it's all very well stigmatising being overweight, but then that ends up with Hannah's son being.
And I think that's part of the problem as well. And the other side of the spectrum is if you've got a child with an eating disorder, automatically the arrow is pointed at the parents. But we don't know what happens. I mean, thinking about Hannah, I mean, you know, if a neurodiverse child, if you're having drugs to support that, they again can have an adverse effect on weight gain.
Emma in West Yorkshire, hi.
Hi, you all right?
All right, thanks. What do you think about this? Basically giving the fat jab to 12-year-olds.
I think in terms of the statement of it being child abuse as a sort of blanket statement to parents is wrong. I think you need to look at all the contributing factors towards it, you know, and educate parents. What's going wrong? Do they understand how to cook healthy meals? Be able to afford to buy certain things to be able to, you know, give the children healthy, you know, sort of lifestyles? Look at the world today, you know, everybody's got a phone. You know, parents need to take a little bit of responsibility, but at the same time, do you want your kids to be playing outside when you might be living in areas where there's high levels of crime and violence and people are more protective of the children, not wanting to be around certain places and certain people, you know? So I think putting a blank statement to say that you're abusing your children for them being obese is a bit too harsh. I think you need to look at all the factors of it. And why the children are the way that they are, and put more money into health literacy, into health education for people instead of constantly taking money out of that. Yeah,
well, let's just see what Michael thinks about that.
I think putting more money into it, sort of more education in schools would be a good thing. I mean, I think what your first caller sort of pointed out so well is every now and again, I feel like when it comes to obesity and some other issues, we sort of have this conversation, should we as a society become much more judgmental and a bit more mean? Would that help everyone if we did that?
Things.
Should we stigmatise things that we deem
being
to be
obese
bad?
is bad, right?
And I think the big problem with that is because you as an individual looking at someone in the street, you never have the context. And obviously a health visitor should sort of be empowered to say to a parent, you should probably try do something different. But also a health visitor would be able to get all of that context about the neurodiversity, about the mum trying really hard, and they wouldn't be judging them, hopefully.
Yeah, but we've got a health crisis that's so serious. And it's not, you know, Hannah's son is the standout example today. But in 1960, 1% of men were obese. Now 28% of men are obese. What, as to quote Trump, what the hell is going on? I don't understand it. It can't just be about drinking too much Guinness, can it? Or
I think we're just eating more than we ever did.
It's sugar, is it?
It's ultra high processed food. And you can see it. There have been so many studies and they've lined up what we used to eat, which was fresh food, even 30 years ago, and what the average diet is now. And it's totally disparate. And
somebody I saw, this is kind of minor, but on social media, there was a lady who kept a McDonald's hamburger for 30 years and she took it out of the bag. I know, you say that. The burger was fine. The bun was fine. No rot, no mould.
She ate it?
Of course she didn't eat it, but she just said, this thing is good for another 100 years. After the break, it's the papers and everything else.